What's up? This is Lefty.
And this is Kilo.
You're tuned in to All Day Play FM. I think DJ culture is in a great space, and also at the same time, like, it's a lot of duality, right? Because the bar is so low that the entry is very, it's kind of like, for the OGs or the real DJs, so on and so forth, it's kind of frowned upon. You know, like, there'd be a lot of corner cutting and a lot of, like, nobody has OGs, so nobody's really, like, everybody's just figuring it out and putting it on socials for no reason. Why are you practicing and recording it? That's crazy. Get good first, you know?
Yeah, I think the DJ culture right now it's interesting, right? Because it's allowing us to dive into sounds that we probably would have never dove into if we didn't have, like, internet or things like that. Like, one day I could wake up, get into a house bag, and the next day I could find out about juke, and like now I'm like studying juke. But I do feel like DJ culture is in a place where it's like everyone's leading with ego, and I feel like once we like get over that and we just get back to like having fun with music, like playing with your homies and like get rid of the politics of it, I feel like we all would be in a better space. Because I feel like right now we're all fighting for like what they think is limited space, but I'm like, honestly, the scarcity mindset gotta go. It's like, you gotta live in abundance, and once you feel like there's enough people to sit at the table, everyone can sit at the table.
I like to DJ up-tempo music, like in everything that kind of revolves around that, right? Anything 110 and above. So whether that be, some UKG, some house shit, some techno shit, some tech house shit, some D&B, even though that's sub, you know? But I mean, I guess you go double tone. But up-tempo, everything.
The genre that I probably lean more towards is like house music. But like, I love to play anything that just makes me feel like I want to dance. So I guess I'll say dance music overall. But I think the beauty of it is like, I keep finding out about new genres and I keep exploring like my interpretation on that. So yeah, I think my inspiration came from my mom. I grew up on house music. I didn't even grow up on hip hop or anything like that. So definitely house dance music.
Shout out to his mom.
Yeah, shout out to Adele, if you see this.
She will. Like 90s radio, you can go from some oldies to like alternative rock to like some real good piano kind of like house music. I'm mad biracial, so like our household was everything, you know? So there's a little bit of inspiration from everything.
I think my music inspiration comes from my mom, like I said. Every time I think of house music, I always think about like cleaning up the house on Sundays, like doing chores and errands. But at the time I didn't know what that was. But I just know it made everyone feel good on Sunday. And so like anytime I DJ, I'm like, I only want to play the things that make me feel good. Or like, I want to play the things that I can see people dancing to. Versus like, just choosing a track just because, it's popular. It's like, can I see a crowd dancing to this? Can I envision myself playing this? Those are genres I kind of lean towards, which is why I love kind of discovering new genres too.
Yeah, there's a bar in San Francisco, legendary bar called El Rio. Shout out El Rio. And my girl was like, hey, let's go grab a beer. And so happened these guys were setting up and DJing. And they played maybe like 3 or 4 edits that I recently downloaded. And was like, I just kept turning around like, you know, and handshake led to a great friendship.
Definitely remember that time at El Rio where it was just like, we bootstrapped the whole thing. We had our own speakers. Like, we didn't know how to set it up or anything. And then I had met him at an event. And then ever since then, it's just been, pure energy. But we always knew that we wanted to do something with each other because the intention was there.
For sure.
Before we had Sylvie through another party. It was like an underground dance party. The Upside Down, which you still throw.
Yeah.
But that first one went crazy. It's like sold out. We were like, we should probably keep doing something together. So yeah.
That was the beginning right there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Literally.
I think that was our first back-to-back too. You know?
Oh yeah.
It was at Monarch and it went nutty. So we were like, I think we're onto something.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
I just like DJing. So I think with back-to-backs and solos are completely two different like things completely, especially when it comes to us. Like a back-to-back is full of energy, and I mean a solo set can be too. I feel like when we back-to-back, it's pure inspiration. There's no plan. There's just our skill and this kind of spy versus spy aspect to it, you know, where I'm trying to outdo him, he's trying to outdo me, and then we meet in the middle, you know?
Yeah, I would probably say both too. Like, I think the solo sets are cool because you can like curate an hour and you can do it like your way. But I do think like energy wise, like the B2B is like, I'm leaning more towards that because that's, it feels like a energy exchange almost. It's like, you got one, I got one. And then the crowd just feeds off of that. And like, we just get lost in like whatever we're doing and people just happen to have fun while we're doing it, right?
For sure.
And the solo set is like, you're thinking about everything. Like, do they like this track? Do they like that track? I think in a B2B, you just kind of, you don't give a fuck about that.
It's a flow state type of situation.
Yeah, flow state.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
My favorite venues gotta be, I mean, the major 4 or 5, Audio, 1015, Halasan, Midway. You know, out of those, I like Audio the most, you know? And as far as parties go, I've got to shout the homies, R&B and Ribs, you know, Saison Libre.
In terms of venue, I'm a plug. I'm gonna say the Midway. Midway #1 over everybody. But to your point, yeah, I do like the big 4 or 5.
Yeah.
They all just kind of have different vibes and different aesthetics, but you can get like a different energy from each one of them. Definitely will agree that Audio aesthetically is probably like the coolest because it reminds you like a Miami like nightclub
For sure.
kind of vibe.
For sure.
In terms of parties, yeah, I'm gonna have to shout out all the upcoming people who are throwing parties with intention.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Butter.
Yeah.
I'm a rock with Love Supreme always. I'm a rock with Digital Underground. There's just a bunch of cats who are like creating parties to be like, this is what I want to see in my community.
Yeah.
And I rock with that because they're standing 10 toes down on it, whether 100 people come or 5 people come. It's like, yeah, just keep building it, keep doing it. Like that's how you create a brand.
For sure. Persistence.
Yep.
The moment I was inspired to DJ was going to Coachella in 2017 and seeing Kate for the first time. There was like, his set was immaculate of just bounce. And this bounce was like, where do I get more of that? You know, so I started digging SoundCloud, started digging for edits and remixes and so on and so forth. And that just, I'm lost down the rabbit hole from there. Kind of the homies that inspired me to DJ would have to be back in SAC. Like when I first started, touching equipment and whatnot, it was the homie Fontaine, homie Chiari, DJ Epic. He had one of, what was that, Motown Mondays? And that went off every time. That was my first time really seeing someone cut on vinyl and was like, wait, how do you do that? And then that kind of another rabbit hole of how do I do that? So yeah, I have to give it up for those 3 right there.
Yeah, I think about people who inspired me to get into music, and obviously I want to say like the bigger ones like Sango or Kate. But I think recently it's kind of shifted where it's like I've seen these people live, but maybe at the time they're not giving like the best energy that they can at those moments. So it kind of feels like, because they've done so many shows, like they can't go hard every show. So it wasn't like awe-inspiring as it was like the idea of them. The people who are inspiring me now are kind of like the people who are in that like middle ground where they're like, they got a little bit of clout, people know them a little bit out of their own area, and they're like traveling locally for it. Some people I want to shout out is probably Michael Dante, that's our homie. Nico, she's a DJ in Memphis. Nanus, who is just here, she does like juke music, she was just here.
Yeah, going crazy.
And even some of the local homies are going crazy, like Shido, Jug.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. They always working hard at their craft and always just having fun at the forefront of everything, which is like so cool to me. So,
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, and shout out the homies that make room.
A perfect song is a perfect feeling, it's when you park your car and then you listen to the song three more times, like It's kind of, you can't really explain it. It just is, you know, it just has a certain kind of elements and it all makes sense. But the bass line gotta be perfect. The bass line has to be perfect.
Yeah, I think for me, when I look for music, the first thing I think of is like, can I envision myself playing this? And is it gonna be fun when I play it? So when I look for tracks, like I'll create like a whole playlist. It'll be like 80 tracks, and then I'll listen to all of them like 3-4 times, and I'm like, yeah, this not making the cut. It's like I might have felt like really good about this on Monday, but by Wednesday, after listening to it like 5 times, like this one really not it. And that's kind of how I refine my playlist on my USB. So like, the reason why he's like, oh, I can see you going to different crates. I have confidence in doing that because I'm like, it's been through the works to get to that USB. So even if I play it and it surprises me, I know it's still gonna have that same intention of like making people dance.
Remixes or originals? Both. I would say, all right, so when it comes to remixes and edits, reworks, not every edit is made the same. They're not all valued the same. Some do not deserve to be put out into the world. But I love when I find a sack of edits on, you know, on SoundCloud or wherever, and everyone hits, you know, and like, yeah, it might be a song from the 90s, early 2000s, but this kind of this reworking of that smash into another smash, forget about it. Give me that. Going directly into that USB.
Yeah,
originals are cool too, though.
I'm gonna say both too, because I feel like in the right moment in your set, an edit can go crazy because people are like, oh yeah, you're playing gypsy women.
Yeah.
But it's really Keisha Cole, right?
Yeah.
And like it can take people on a ride, but I feel like if you're doing too much of the Houdini, like, hey psych, it gets like a little like overwhelming. I think one thing that I've learned through just even DJing with him is like, there's beauty in like playing the original first and then getting that edit in there somewhere, right? Because then you're like giving people what they want, and then you take a little bit for yourself, and then you can have that surprise factor.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna say if you can do both of them in a masterful way or like in a tasteful way, I think it'll elevate your set instead of take away from it.
Yeah. At the same time, there's certain originals that should not be touched.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, up and coming producers, up and coming DJs do not make mashups or edits using stems. Go get the acapella, bro. Like, do the work, bro. It's out there. It's out there.
Or just handle the distortion, bro.
It sounds muddy,
if you
bro.
stem it, just like if it's distorting, bro, you maybe don't use that one. Like maybe you try to cut it a little harder.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Thanks, guys. Hey, what's up? It's Lefty.
And this is Kilo.
Making house music.
Black again.
You're tuned in to
ADP.FM.